And so he was singing on the street. But he came into this ministry and he hooked up with me. And guess what? He started traveling the world and I gave him a mic. I just told him how to use the mic. You see, in the church, you know what we do sometimes? We tell people, you don't look right. And we don't tell them how to be right. Before he died, he was a businessman. He was a father. He was a youth pastor. He traveled with Dr. Munroe as well. Riddell, his wife, she came here as a little teenager. And you know what? I gave her an opportunity to do drama on stage. And we did all kinds of crazy things in this place. One time we had a pool right over there and kids were diving off into the pool. Can you imagine? That's a church meeting. But guess what? It reached the young people. So she was able to create movies, and her movies are still being shown around the world. We will carry on for Diego. You know, y'all don't know who Diego is. Let me tell you about Diego. Diego was a young man who came here a couple of years ago. And we had a lunch meeting at Dr. Myles Munroe's house. And Diego wasn't supposed to be there because Diego wasn't a pastor or anything like that. But he just got on the bus. And he ended up at my table. And we started talking. And as we started talking, he was telling me he loved my book. The book that called Positive Choices. And he said, you know, I used to be a gangster too. He said, I used to be with the never left East LA. You know where Diego has been in the last 2 years? He's been to Russia, he's been to South Africa, he's been to Colombia, all over the world traveling with Dr. Munroe. A gangbanger from East LA. We will carry on for I knew these guys. I used to fly on the plane. And don't let people tell you any stupidness, but these guys took chances. Anybody who flew on that plane know that dog don't play and Furkan don't play. He said, Doc, we ain't flying in this kind of weather. So I know him. Doc Thurston, we got to carry on for Doc. We have to carry on for Levad, Riddell, and Johanan. We have to carry on for Dr. Richard Pinder. And we will carry on for Dr. Myles and Ruth Munroe. I want you to make some noise if you're ready to carry on. I'm going to ask Pastor Henry to come. And we had some things that were previously scheduled. One of them we postponed until next week, but the parents of the second baby that was supposed to be dedicated this morning, they weren't aware of the change of plans. And so we're going to end the service with two things, with the baby dedication, and we're going to close out with a song. But while we are asking for the parents to come and bring the baby, oh, they didn't come? Oh, okay. All right, well, I want to do something else. I want all of our pastors to come on the stage. And I want all of our Kingdom Care ministers to come on the stage. I want you to see the team of visionaries that we have. I want you to give them a round of applause. You know, one of the reasons why I never wanted to pastor a church is because people are stressed pastors out. And I don't want to have to chap nobody. For our American friends, that means chop, okay? But God has a sense of humor. I felt like, man, God, you really must not like me. But this is for those of you who may not be aware, we already put things in place and we have some more announcements to make. But Pastor Jay, who is one of our founding fathers, he has decided to return to the ministry. He's in retirement. Now, don't get too excited. Not full time. He is only here as we need him for the transition. As pastor We also have on our staff Pastor Munroe. And the rest of the people on the stage, they're here to serve you. The last thing I want to mention is that we have commissioned a secretariat to handle the issues related to the homegoing. Now, I know some people were, I guess, upset in some way when we said, you know, the funeral might be by invitation only. We are trying to modify that as best as we can. We're going to get tents out in the parking lot. We're going to use the overflow room. We're going to use the bush. We're going to use churches in the area. Whatever we can do to accommodate you, we want to accommodate the members, all right? Now, the memorial is going to be at the National Stadium. So everybody can come to the memorial. Amen? But I just want to say thank you as we begin this journey. Thanks to all of you all for coming out. I hope you continue to come out.
Amen.
And so I can keep my word, even though this is the first day and y'all give me a break, so I can keep my word, we're going to close. I'm going to ask Pastor Henry to give us a benediction prayer, and then as we are closing, we have a young lady who's going to come and give us a closing song. Oh, one other item. The families request that you don't come by the house because they are overwhelmed. You can call, but they need some space right now. It's still a very difficult period. So Pastor Henry is going to close us out in prayer.
Pastor Dave, I want to come back next time with a mic in my hand. Could I do two things?
Go right ahead.
The closing song will be Born to Lead, and you'll be able to pick up a copy of it in the lobby. And also, the phones have been ringing off the hook for Pastor Myles' last teaching. It is available, okay?
He said Born to Lead.
If we run out today, I will see that they continue to run them more and more, okay? But those two things, let's just... Okay, and those of you who may have forgotten your offering, you can still come here while the benediction is going on. Or if you want to do so, you can put it in the seed box. Or for the legacy part of it, if you weren't prepared, it's still open over the next 3-4 weeks, okay? If you have to take a time to meet your legacy offering, please do so. We understand that not everybody was prepared today, but we will not allow anybody to be left behind. As Pastor Dave said, we are here to serve you. We will change things to help you. But one thing is, we're going to come out on time.